accreted arc terrains in the Pinokian just to the south, and we'll take one venture across that to look at rocks down in the shear zone. So this is the main Pinokian crustal boundary, accreted volcanic rocks and granitic rocks and so on. The other field trip is going down to these. So we're very near that boundary, and our general interpretation for many years is that these are probably Pinokian thrusts that have been pushed up from the north. I think we don't have them dated, and we're getting so many new dates now, I think we have to kind of reevaluate or keep an open mind about that. But the interesting thing is that they have the Michigami Formation, the Barrier Group, which is the blue, the Iron Formation, and the Felch Formation, which make up the Menominee Group, equivalent, more or less equivalent to many of the other classic iron ranges, stratigraphy. And then a big hunk of the dolomite, and a little bit of the sturgeon quartzite. But these seem basically to be kind of ripped off, most cases off the top of the sturgeon, which has brought these presumably thrust slices, although the structure is pretty steep. Iron formations here, Marquette, Gogebic, Linford, and so on, were the same age, or were they wildly different? We answered a lot of that when we discovered the Sudbury impact layer 10 years ago or so, which we know is precisely 1850 million years old.
In fact, that almost all of the iron formations, the high-grade direct shipping ores that were discovered here, were discovered within 4 years by a fellow by the name of Dr. Hulse, who worked for the Menominee Iron Company out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And what he realized is that you see all these more intricate faulting structures, like down here at Loretto, here at Norway, Quinnipiac to Iron Mountain, and then up here on the end of this particular trend, these are where all the high-grade ore, direct shipping ore deposits occurred. The ore usually ran over 60-65% ore with very little silica, like 10-15%. And the conclusion is that currently that it's leached silica that increased the iron content, and there certainly are plumbing systems with all these faults that would contribute to that. And it turns out all of these highly faulted areas were also topographic lows. So once he started down here in Waseda, about 7 miles east of here, and found the first deposit, found this deposit, which was the second one. The actual outcrop is just east of the parking lot here, back up on the hill. And if you notice, the highway makes a little dip out here when you leave. The underground workings go under the highway about a quarter mile to the south to the main shaft, and that entire section has been sinking for the last 70 years.
On the other side of the fence here, underground loader, powered by compressed air. The miners would drill 13 holes, 4 feet deep. That was their blast pattern throughout this entire mine. Blast the rock from the wall onto the floor of the tunnel, drive this machine forward, scoop the iron ore up over the top, the back of this underground dump cart. Machine actually still works. I'll give you an idea how it ran. This underground dump car itself weighs 1 ton. It has a 4-ton capacity. The unique thing about it is it's counterbalanced, which means it's not perfectly balanced. Even when fully loaded, one man could easily pull this over on his own. If you look up at this chart behind me, give you an idea where we're going. Mine entrance, just around the corner to the left. Get on the train, well, nowhere to walk it. We're gonna walk 2,600 feet, I'm not used to that. Get off at this point here, we're gonna follow the Trader's Iron Formation. Along the way, we're gonna stop at a water liner drill, then we're gonna visit the small stope, then we're gonna visit the large stope. Now what a stope is, it's an English word for a mined out underground cavity. Once the miners got there, of course, solid rock. You take 4 million tons of rock out of the ground, you leave a pretty good sized hole. The large stope, you remove almost 23 million tons of iron ore, you leave an exceptionally large hole. In order to make money back in those days, iron ore content had to be at least 50%. Unique thing about this mine we're about to enter, they found specular hematite. Can run as high as 72% pure iron ore, which in turn made the owners of this mine filthy rich. Now keep in mind, the owners, of course, were the ones who had all the money. Miners themselves roughly pay between 11 to 18 cents per hour, depending on what their job was in the mine. Any questions? Chunk of rock on the other side of the fence there, specular hematite. It's from the 13th level, 1,300 feet below where we're standing right now. give you an idea of how heavy raw iron ore can actually weigh, that rock is 72% pure iron ore, roughly weighs almost 300 pounds. Next to that, standing up, Stoke stretcher. It's also known as a man basket. The man got injured to the point he couldn't walk. His buddies would pick him up, lay him down, and strap him in. Sadly enough, the only way to get an injured man out of the mine back in those days, they actually had to wait for fully loaded underground dump carts to be headed to the surface. Injured man set up on top of the pile of rock. The machine powered by compressed air. What the miners would do, they'd hook this drill up to a team of horses, drag it up on the hill, run up an air line, run up a water line. Once it was operational, 10-foot lengths of pipe similar to this one would be inserted in the top. When the machine was turned on, it went in a clockwise motion. Pressure going down would force this up through the top. It's a core sample, 10-foot lengths of pipe. Miners can guess within reason the depth. Break off a piece, right on the outside, fill up a core case identical to this one, send it out to be analyzed. Now this here, of course, would have been the drill bit. On the bottom, it would have bedded with black diamond. Black diamond's pretty much hard enough to cut through anything on the planet.
Sorry about that, but we can't help with the weather. Rides the train in, so.
Here's iron formation right here, and then right before the timbery, there's much more cutting through the bedrock also. One thing unusual, all the iron formation beds are dipping south at about 70, 80 degrees. All these white quartz faults are dipping north at about 80 degrees. So we really I haven't worked out the structure in here as far as the timing of all the different folds and fractures that taking place. We cleared up a little bit more, but it's not very deformed right here in this area. I don't know what the reason why, but a lot of the deformation may be taken up in the next contact, which is right at the end of this stretch, where the iron formation is in contact with what they call the trader, where the Cambrian seas essentially washed over these islands and high ground of iron formation. And we'll see a really good example of that up at the Devil's Ice Box in Quinnipiac.
Two little bats.
Little brown bed?
Yes.
Right there.
About 400 feet, punched a hole to the surface, fresh air in the entire first level. Right now, shines out a statue of Big John. Statue in the parking lot, 40 feet tall. This one, of course, is smaller. Anybody want to take a guess how tall he is? Before you answer, give you a little hint. Looks can be deceiving. Anybody want to take a guess how tall he is?
3 feet.
Oh, I can't tell you how far away it is. 6 feet, he's taller than 6 feet.
10 feet.
10 feet tall. Might not look like it due to the fact between us and him, roughly 620 feet. Now I'll turn the rest of the lights on. Show you what stands between us and Big John. You got a she shack at home or a man cave? Welcome to my man cave.
Oh, wow.
Roughly 620 feet from us to Big John.
That they were getting paid for.
And my uncle said sometimes they would get ore that was like clay that they would mine.
Yeah.
Soft with clay.
There's a little bit of that out here, but don't touch it. It'll get everywhere and take it off. It's like very fine ruby.